Salve mates, I hope everything is covered in Tuscan sunshine at your end. We return to ancient jokes written in antiquity, and this time it's jokes about minorities. These 2,000-year-old jokes include Abderites, Sidonians, and people from Kyme, ancient Greek cities whose inhabitants were considered less than brilliant. Then there are jokes about black people, people with bad breath, and people with hernias, and horny women. As if those ever existed. Surprisingly, there are no jokes about LGBT people, but since the joke book was written in ancient Greek, it's probably hard to joke about something Greeks invented. Enough of my dumb jokes, let's hear the ancient ones. A brothel manager was hiring a dark-skinned prostitute. A jokester saw this and said, "What's your rate for the night?" Like dark-skinned night. Okay. The city of Abdera was divided into two parts. The people living eastward and the people living westward. One day enemies laid siege to the city and everything erupted into chaos. But those living in the east said to themselves, "Why should we care? The enemy is attacking the western gate, not our eastern." There was a pious man who had terrible breath. He was with his face up to the heavens and prayed every day, until at last Zeus himself leaned down and said, "You know there are gods in the underworld as well, right?" Diogenes saw a black man eating a white bread and said, "Night eats a day." An Abderite's pet sparrow died. Years later he saw an ostrich and sighed, "If only my little sparrow had lived, he would be as big as that by now." An Abderite was sleeping with a man who had a large hernia. During the night he had to get up against his will, and as he was returning in complete darkness, he accidentally stepped on the hernia. The man cried out in pain, and Abderite told him, "Why are you sleeping with your head down?" Are those hernia jokes doing anything with you? No, okay. A Sidonian scholar owned a property many miles from the city. Wanting to make it nearer, he knocked down 7 mile markers. A man from Kyme was selling a house, so he carried around a stone as a sample. That's the whole joke. A Sidonian merchant was traveling with a companion. When nature's call forced him to take a break, he got left behind. His companion, who traveled ahead, wrote on a mile marker, "Hurry up and catch up to me." The merchant read it and wrote back, "No, you wait for me." In Abdera, an escaped donkey got into a gymnasium and knocked over an oil lamp. Ooh, drama. To prevent anything like this from ever happening again, the citizens gathered all the city's donkeys in one place, tied up the guilty donkey in front of them, and whipped it. An Abderite tried to hang himself, but the rope snapped and he hit his head. So he went to his doctor, got a bandage and treated his injury, and then went back to try again. A man with a bad breath wanted to kill himself, so he covered his face and suffocated. An Abderite was outside, and when he saw a man with a hernia urinating, he observed, "That guy could piss until dawn and never finish." I officially declare hernia jokes as unfunny. An Abderite saw a eunuch in the company of a woman and asked whether she was his wife. But the man explained that those who do not have testicles cannot have wives. "Oh, so she's your daughter." A jokester developed a hernia. Oh no, not a hernia joke. When he came back, his wife asked if he had brought her a gift. "Nothing for you, my dear," he said, "but there is a pillow for your thighs." A young man told his horny wife, finally, "Dear, what should we do? Eat dinner or make love?" The horny wife replied, "Well, that's up to you, but we don't have any food." While visiting his doctor, a man with a bad breath said, "Take a look, doc. My uvula is hanging too low." A uvula is this thing in your mouth. He opened his mouth up and the doctor turned away. It's not your uvula that's hanging too low. It's your asshole that has come up. A man with a bad breath asked his wife, "Why do you hate me, my dear?" She answered, "Because you love me, my dear." A lucky eunuch developed a hernia. That's the whole joke. An Athenian was admiring a painting by Apelles in which Athenians were driving Spartans into flight. "Brave Athenians," he exclaimed. A Spartan standing nearby added, "Yes, on a painting." So mates, those were jokes about minorities, ancient minorities. Tell me which one offended you the most so I know where to continue the next time. I will leave the Greek text and the translations below the video. Stay strong.